Hi first grade, welcome back. So we have a new project. We did a fabulous job completing our animals last time. We're going to be studying a new animal today. An animal that you might find a little scary or a little creepy, but I think that is really fascinating. We're gonna be making our own tarantula web. So we're gonna be painting a web today, and we're gonna be using fractions. Believe it or not, even in art class, we are using math. We may not be using numbers all the time, but when we create patterns and lines, we're actually also using math skills to create them. What we're gonna be studying today is called a tarantula. Now, it's very similar to spiders. It's considered a spider, but it's also very different. You'll notice that these can be very large. They are also covered with hair. So even though tarantulas are creepy crawly, they are not considered insects. Insects have 6 legs. Can anyone raise their hand and tell me how many legs a spider or a tarantula has? Okay, I hope that we said 8. Tarantulas have 8 legs. So because of that, they're considered arachnids. Go ahead and say arachnids. Tarantulas can be all different sizes, but a lot of times they can be very big. So the one that we have here is the Goliath bird eater. Now, all tarantulas are poisonous, but they depend on how dangerous they are. Some bites from a tarantula are very similar to like a wasp sting, where you'll be fine. And then sometimes a tarantula will bite you and it can make you very sick. Let's take a look at a very special type of tarantula called the Goliath bird-eating tarantula. So since we're talking about spiders, I thought we would go take a look at one that we have on campus in Mrs. Jones' room. She actually has this awesome tarantula named Tickles. Whoa, he's climbing on the wall. Is it he or she? It is a she. Whoa.
There are 700 tarantulas in the forest. Many tarantulas burrow under the ground. Tarantulas hunt at night.
Very good.
They eat lizards, snakes, and frogs.
Oh. So, we should have 2 things. We should have this really thick piece of paper. We should also have a pencil. Go ahead and give me 2 thumbs up if you have both of those items. Awesome. The first thing I want you to do with your pencil is, of course, if you haven't already, you need to sharpen it. Remember, there's a sharpener in the bin. If you've already sharpened it, I need you to write your name at the bottom. So I'm gonna write Mr. Boatfield because that's my name, but if you have your own special name, I need you to write that. We're also gonna write our class code. So I'm gonna pause the video now and tell you what our class code is. Okay, now that we have our name and class code, we're gonna do something a little strange. We're going to flip our paper over, keep your paper vertical. We're gonna write a few different words, and this will be our notes for today, because we're gonna be using a lot of new words. All right, we're gonna write a couple words, so we need to write small. We're gonna start at the top. The first word I want you to write is vertical. So V-E-R-T-I-C-A-L. And then instead of writing a definition, we're gonna just draw a line. So vertical is a type of line. Vertical goes up and down, so we're just going to draw some arrows going up and down. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up once you have vertical and you've drawn a little picture to remind yourself what it means. Okay, next up we're gonna write horizontal. So horizontal is a type of line that goes from side to side. So I'm gonna go ahead and spell it H-O-R-I-Z-O-N-T-A-L. So horizontal. We're also gonna write a little picture to remind us of what it means. It is a line that goes from side to side. So I'm gonna draw 2 arrows just like this so I can remember. Go ahead and give me some thumbs up once you have that word. Awesome. So now we're gonna talk a little bit about fractions. So fractions is a type of math. We're gonna do whole So a whole is basically the whole thing. Now, let's say if we had some pizza. That means we would have the whole pizza to ourselves. Go ahead and draw yourself a little pizza with little slices. So I drew a circle and then I drew some lines going through it. Now, when we drew the whole pizza, we drew vertical lines and then we drew horizontal lines. But we also did lines that go from the top to the bottom, right here and right here like an X. Can someone raise their hand and tell me what those are called? All right, I hope we said diagonal. So we're gonna spell it D-I-A-G-O-N-A-L. Now those are lines that go like this or like this. Think of an X. So that's what we're gonna draw. Lines that go from the top to the bottom and from side to side. So go ahead and write diagonal. Give me a thumbs up once you're ready. Okay, now let's take a look at our pizza. Now, answer me this question. Do you think one person can eat this whole big pizza? I hope you said no. So I want you to find one little triangle. I want you to draw a line, and I want you to write the word part. And then draw that triangle here. So this will be the part of your pizza that you're eating. Okay, so we should have whole and then an arrow pointing to one triangle. That's gonna be your piece of pizza. Go ahead and tell a friend, what's your favorite flavor of pizza? Okay, so now we're gonna do a little bit of math, a little bit of numbers, and then we'll start our project. What you're gonna do is you are going to draw 2 boxes. Go ahead and draw 2 boxes. Now make these a little bit bigger. Once you have 2 twin boxes right side by side, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Now if you run out of room, just try your best to maybe draw it somewhere where you do have room. Okay, now we are going to split one box right in half using a vertical line all the way down. We're gonna call this half. So when you have 2 parts of something, of a whole, you have 2 halves. So go ahead and write half, H-A-L-F. Give me a thumbs up once you're ready. Now, with the second box, I want you to draw a vertical line and a horizontal line. How many parts did this break it up into? I hope you said 4. So we started out as a whole, and now we have 4 parts. So we're gonna call this something a little strange. It's called fourths. So I'm gonna spell it out, F-O-U-R-T-H. And then put an S, fourths. So because we split up into 4 parts, we would call this fourths. If you ever have maybe a brownie or a cake and you split up into 4 sections, you can say, I split up my cake or pizza or whatever it is into fourths. Give me a thumbs up once you're ready and we will start our spider web. Okay, so we should have our notes done. I'm gonna put this iPad here so that you can see. So here's my paper. The very first thing I want you to do is I want you to split your paper into halves, which means that we are going to draw a line all the way down the middle. Doesn't have to be perfect, but try your best. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up once you split your paper into halves. Okay, good job. Now it's time to split our paper into 4 sections. And what can we call that again? I hope you said fourths. We're gonna go ahead and take a horizontal line all the way across. Now look, mine is not perfect, but it looks like a little window. We have 4 different sections, 4 boxes. Give me a thumbs up once you have it. Awesome job. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw 2 diagonal lines that go right through the middle. This will be a little bit tricky, but watch me first. So I'm gonna start at this very top right corner, move my pencil, I'm making a line towards the center where all those lines meet, that intersection. And I'm gonna go through it and then meet the other corner. Does not have to be perfect. Spiders' webs are not perfect either, so don't worry. Now we need to do the same thing on the other side. So top left, go through the middle, now they're all meeting, and then to the other side. Give me a thumbs up once you have that. Awesome, awesome. So now it is time for us to draw a spiral. A spiral is a line that goes in a circle but then gets bigger. This is gonna help us make up the web. You're gonna find the inner part of your spider web. You're gonna go in a circle, around, make it bigger and bigger. This is where the web comes in. So let me hold this. I'm gonna keep on going. Fill up all the space. Oops, it's a little bit hard to hold. Okay, I'm gonna keep on going. I promise. It's getting bigger. Do a few lines all the way around. And then once you think you've made it as big as you can, go ahead and just end the line on the side of the paper and it goes off into nowhere land. Go ahead and do your spiral now. You can make it as big, as round as you want. Okay, when you are finished with your spiral, raise your hand. I'm gonna let you take one of these black pastels. Now these will make your hand messy. Just touch it with your fingers. Please don't rub it all over your hands and make your hands messy. We are going to follow all the lines we made, and basically trace the lines we did in pencil with this oil pastel. When we start painting next time, the oil pastel is gonna resist the watercolor paint and will make this really cool effect. So watch me first. So once you finish this, I need you to do two things. Raise your hand, maybe come tell me, I'll give you a thumbs up. If I give you a thumbs up, you need to do two things. You're gonna bring your piece of paper to the middle table, and then at the middle table, you're gonna put your pastel away, and then you can choose one of the different activities that are located over here. This needs to be complete by today so that we can paint next time. And then after we start painting, we will create our own tarantula out of pipe cleaners. It's gonna be really scary. You might even scare someone into thinking it's real. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Please don't touch your oil pastel painting once you're done. At the very end of class today, I will give us a wet wipe so we can clean our hands. Alrighty guys, I think we're gonna have so much fun and I'm so excited to see what these look like when they are all done.